Yeah, so we are told that organizers and community members are set to arrive here around 3:45 ahead of today's school board study session that begins at 4:30. Ironically, this whole controversy began over a disagreement between the school board member and the school board president on what time today's meeting should be held.
All those in favor?
Heil.
It's this moment from a May 26th board meeting community members and advocacy groups have since condemned, arguing elected leaders like Kim Fisher should be held to a higher standard. Organizers of today's rally say they want to send a message that hate and intolerance have no place in public education.
Some people think she was doing something supportive of a Nazi party or a Nazi candidate. It looks evident to me that she was actually saying her opponent was acting like a Nazi.
First Amendment attorney Greg Leslie says offensive speech is often protected under the Constitution.
People have the right to call for a resignation, but I don't think you can really demand it.
Leslie says there's a difference between public pressure and government action.
If the government actually took action to remove her from office, I think she'd have a civil rights suit against the body that removed her.
Fisher has since apologized to those offended, but insists the gesture was not intended as support for Nazism and instead was trying to criticize district leadership over a meeting she felt was scheduled at a time that made it hard for working parents to attend. She says the backlash has turned into harassment, claiming her family has received threats and that her personal information has been posted online. In a statement, Fisher said, "I understand the symbol I used is extremely offensive, but it is not at all what the district or the teachers union are pretending it was."
These are weird situations because they're not always what they seem.
Organizers tell me they are expecting a large turnout today for that rally, again, set to happen here in just a few minutes. I'm also told that they are wanting to stay through that meeting to make sure that they express how they're feeling about this whole situation directly to district leaders. And I did speak with Kim Fisher on the phone today, and she has not given any indication that she plans to resign. Reporting live here, Alexis Dominguez for Arizona's Family.
Alexis, more on this to come. Thank you.